Alabama's trending. So Coleman, Alabama's trending. I am from Hartselle, Alabama, which is a town that neighbors Coleman, Alabama. I would venture to say that in the same way that Coleman is a sundown town, Hartselle is too. They're one and the same. It's just a drive over. And that's where I'm from. Now, we knew that it was a sundown town, right? We knew that it wasn't this German Christmas town, that it is, in fact, a sundown town, that it is not welcoming to people of color, to Black people, that it never has been, and that that's its history, right? Like, that's not new information. But to come on here and see white people that are from Coleman talk about how offended they are that it's being labeled as a sundown town when it is exactly that. And I think that if you say that it's not, like, you just have to be so ignorant about where you're actually from, because I'm not a person of color and I've seen it. So how is it that you don't know? When I was in high school, I was working in a restaurant in Hartselle, Alabama, very close to the Coleman line. And it was a restaurant that served mostly old white conservative people. My family was in town. They lived overseas at the time. My youngest sister is a person of color. And for privacy reasons, I'm just going to leave it at that. And at the time, she was about 3 years old, maybe 4, still like a toddler. One of my coworkers was just snubbing my family and being rude to them and laughing at them. And I said, "What's your problem?" And he said to me, "Well, I just don't like N-word children very much." I've never physically fought someone. It was the first time I had tried to fist fight someone other than my sisters. So I'm a white person, and I've seen how people where I'm from treat Black people. I've seen how they treat people that look differently than them. I've seen how they treat people that they don't want around. What else is the definition of a sundown town other than that exactly? A place where people of color are not welcomed. Are you that ignorant about where you're from? I mean, I understand our education system's not the best, but have you never opened your eyes and just looked around and thought about the experience of someone that doesn't look like you in the town where you're from? Has that thought just never crossed your mind? You're swimming in the ocean and someone else is telling you they're being attacked by sharks and you don't believe them because you're not? Goodness gracious. Coleman, Alabama is unequivocally one of the birthplaces of the KKK. And if you don't know that, you haven't picked up enough books or read enough newspapers.
A white person blaming Black people for pointing out that their town is racist and a sundown town.
Is I've commented on at least 10 to 15 of these videos made by Black people saying how Coleman is a sundown town. Nobody's trapping you. I'm not going to sit here and say that I've done my research, that I know how it feels to be in your shoes, because I'm obviously not Black.
Lovecraft Country that highlighted sundown towns, racism, Jim Crow, was based on Coleman, Alabama.
It's not scary. You're going to sit here and tell me all the reasons that it is scary, why I'm wrong, and blah, 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 blah. I don't care.
Make the point that, yeah, I don't understand because I'm white. I've never seen racism in this town. Why would you ever see it as a white person? Sundown towns are real. They were a form of hyper racism within the United States before the Jim Crow era, and especially during the Jim Crow era, instituted a violent form of segregation in which Black people could not be in the vicinity of that town or in that town once the sun set. Black people had to create a travel book to know where we were and weren't safe. In 2024, sundown towns still exist.
You can't just be like, "Oh, you're not Black, you don't understand."
The sign in Coleman, Alabama, multiple of them said, "Niggas do not let the sun go down on you while in this town." My parents were children when that sign was up. So before you come on here and you make all these grandiose, "Let me hold your hand and bring you to a sundown town," you're inviting Black people to come to a sundown town, and you're upset that we're saying it's a trap. White people in this country, man, you cease to amaze me. No one Black in their right mind would visit Alabama to begin with. No one Black in their right mind would visit a sundown town to begin with. Your grandparents probably participated in violence towards my grandparents. My grandparents are from Alabama. So before you get on this app and tell Black people how to feel, how to act, and how to respond to white people telling them to come to a sundown town, look within.
I am a white Christian girl who has lived in Coleman all of her life, and never once have I ever seen in the news that somebody was killed in Coleman or hurt in Coleman because they're Black.
And saying that you're a white Christian woman, like that was supposed to be the holy grail of safety. All of the violence perpetuated against us, against the natives, against brown people worldwide has been done by white Christian people. The most dangerous people in this country are white women who use white women tears to cause harm against black people. So no, sorry, we will not be coming to Coleman, Alabama. Check yourself, get offline, do some research, because to say you haven't done research, but come on here and make this plea is the most asinine, ridiculous thing I've seen all day. I'm not even shocked by this PR campaign the residents of Coleman, Alabama are on, because it is historically proven, past, present, and probably future, that white people in this country not only try to whitewash history, they change their history.